Welcome to Knicks Home Court, morning edition. The morning after that debacle. I'm your host. My name is Greg Armstrong. This is episode number 86. The Knicks got 86th. It's an old saying, meaning undressed. I don't know why they use that number. I think it's 86. Well, I'm going to just jump right into this game from yesterday. All right. I'm disappointed in this outcome. Well, not the outcome, but I'm disappointed in this game for the simple fact I'm more upset about this game than the losses to Chicago and Atlanta, and I'll explain why. Let me fix this by saying I'm not upset at the loss. I'm upset at the effort. When a team is better than you and they out-effort you, that's fucking terrible. Let me tell you something. You know why I'm upset? San Antonio did not play a good game yesterday. They were clanking. LaMarcus Aldridge didn't play a good game. He scored, but he was like 9 for 22. Knicks had many chances. The San Antonio Spurs, I don't know if they hung out on New Year's Day and the Knicks hung out on New Year's Day, but the game wasn't crisp. It wasn't a crisp game. And I felt like that was a game that the Knicks could have stolen, because the Spurs are a far better team. That was a game, especially being that Kawhi Leonard is still getting used to, getting back. That was a game that we could have stole. That was a game, and that's what a young team, as they get mature, they'll learn how to seize the moment. I've seen really good teams play shitty the entire game and be like, in the fourth quarter, be like, oh shit, we still got a chance to win this shit. All right, let's buckle down and bust their ass. That's what good teams do. They struggle, but they stay in the game. And I'm going to tell you, the thing is with the Spurs, and while I respect them, and why they always have championship medal, why they're always dangerous, is because their offense was off and on, but their defense was steady. So if San Antonio's going to stink it up, guess what? You're going to stink it up too. Period. So their defense is consistent. And think about their team. Think about their players. Think about their players over the years. This is why I always tell people that high draft picks are overrated. They bring anybody in, plug them in, and they start balling. Because they have a system. Now, Pop has tweaked his system offensively over the years, but defensively, they all buy in. They all dig in. They don't bullshit. New guys. You had that young point guard in there blocking everybody's shot. It's funny though. I'm gonna tell you this. I play 2K. I haven't played in a while, but I play 2K, and I usually play on the they used to call it the franchise mode. Now they call it like the team mode or whatever. And it's funny is that Bertans is a guy I always select for the power forward. I always pick him up because he can shoot. He's a decent player. It's so funny to see him in real life. Same thing with the point guard, DeJounte Murray, I think his name is. He's 6'5", he's a point guard. And I've used him too, and I'm like, this guy's athletic. And to see them in real life is cool. And and see, that's what the Spurs do. The Spurs pick up people. See, the Spurs would make the Spurs smart, and I think the Knicks are headed this way. And I want to speak on Perry and Mills, really Perry, because Mills is letting Perry run the show, and that's cool. And you know why I think Mills is letting Perry run the show is because Mills have been in situations where he is de facto GM or whatever, and he has no say, and he still gets blamed for all the bullshit. So he's like, yo, Perry, you got this. I'll oversee it, and you got it. So if you fuck up, it's on you. It's going to fall on me too, but it's going to be on you. And that's cool. So anyway, if you notice one thing about Popovich, and I'll get back to the game, I just got off the game. one thing about Popovich is he in the Spurs organization, they bring players in based on skill and attitude. Every single player on the Spurs have a skill, and all of them have a good defensive attitude. If you can't play defense, if you're not willing to hustle, you will not be there. The Spurs are like old money. You know what I'm saying? They not playing that shit. So Murray, athletic. Danny Green, elite three-point shooter. Bertans, very good three-point shooter. Kawhi Leonard, elite two-way player. LaMarcus Aldridge, elite post player. You know, they always have. Now I mentioned the stars on the team as well. Tony Parker, penetrator. They always have had people who have roles and who are really good at what they do. And that's one thing that people don't analyze when it comes to the Spurs, is that what the Spurs do is they look at a team, and maybe it comes from Pop's that he was in the Air Force, and he understands teamwork, make the dream work. He understands all of that, and he gets all these players to accept their roles. Hey, you're good at three-point shooting. Guess what? I want you to shoot threes. Stay right there and shoot threes, but make sure you play some defense. Oh, you're good at penetrating. Okay, dribble in the middle and score all you want to score as long as you play defense. You know, and that's what a good coach does. Takes a player's best talent and lets him expand on that. And lets him, don't take away his talent. You know what I'm saying? Guys can shoot. Oh, I want you to be in the post. Guys can penetrate. I want you to stand right here. That's a fucked up coach. So just wanted to give kudos to Pops on that. But as far as the game last night, I'm sorry. Let me get to Perry now. I heard now the type of players they're looking for. I don't want to be critical of Perry, but in life, there's nothing but variables. We all live in a gray area. And him and Mills said, we want long, athletic players. That's good. That's a good start. Long, athletic players. That means defense. That means getting out on a run. That means being able to get out on a run. But, one thing I can commend Phil Jackson about is he was all about skills and athleticism. You can't just have an athletic scrub out there. You got to have an athletic play. Now, unless you can have a couple of them that just play defense. But other than that, you can't have an athletic scrub out there. You know, we had an athletic scrub who was a wonder. You see him running down the court and see him dunking the ball. His name was Anthony Bonner. He couldn't do nothing. He couldn't dribble. He couldn't shoot. But he could run fast. And if you give him the ball with 2 steps, and all he had to do is take 2 steps and dunk it, it looked beautiful. That was Anthony Bonner. Go look up Anthony Bonner and all his dunks on people. Other than that, he was garbage. He was trash. So, that's why you need skills. And again, I want to give Phil Jackson some props, because I also, as the Knicks were working people out, guess who they worked out? Guess who they was thinking about trying to get? Kyle Kuzma. They worked him out. Guess who else? Guess Lauri Markkanen? Guess who liked him? Phil Jackson. Everybody's like, oh, he's a goddamn fool. Look at him. He looks like he's going to be a really good player in the NBA. Why? Because he has a skill. He's a 7-footer who can shoot the three, who can put it on the ground, and who can score. You gotta get players with skills. We drafted Damian Dotson. I knew he was gonna be decent because he has an NBA skill. That's shooting. Even though it didn't look good yesterday, he got 2 skills. He's athletic. Actually, he has 2 skills and one thing going for him. He's 6'6", 200, or 195 or 205, either way, depending on the day. And he can shoot the lights out. I mean, I know he can. It's just a matter of getting into the game and getting used to doing it. So, anyway, I'm sorry. I'm up here driving. So, those are the kind of, you want to draft players Well, the best combination is actually athleticism and skills, but that's when you get stars. That's why Kyle Kuzma is surprising everybody, but he's not surprising me because I looked at every single. I'm a junkie like that. I sat there and I said, let me look at Kyle Kuzma in college, and I'm like, this dude is shooting the three. He got little skills on the post. Oh shoot! I never knew he was that athletic because his team didn't allow, and that's the problem with colleges. Is a lot of times they don't allow you to play the way you play. You have to play according to the system. That's what I hate about college ball. But anyway, I digress. Back to the game. Kristaps per garbage. That's what he was last night. Yes, I don't mince my words. I love Kristaps, but you got to call people out when you call them out. You got to call them out. Kristaps per garbage. That's what he was last night. But I'm not mad at him. I mean, hey, first of all, what this game shows me going up against LaMarcus Aldridge, you know what that shows me? It shows me that he needs to get stronger, because what's happening is not every team has a LaMarcus Aldridge, but he just wasn't strong enough. And what's happening also to Kristaps Porzingis is as the season goes on, he's probably losing the weight he's gained. He's probably lost some of that muscle, and he's back to being slim a little bit. He's always been slim, but he's back to being the Kristaps from last year. No problem. I mean, the Knicks could not get him to score. And I think that sometimes Kristaps, he forces the issue. There's no need to force it, homie. There's no need to force it. I think that in those situations, all right, Kristaps Porzingis is one of those players that he has multi-dimensional skills. I don't know why I said dimensional, but he has multi-skills. In other words, he could put it on the floor, he could dribble, he could post up a little, and he has a deadly jump shot, and he's elite from mid-range, and he's decent from three. But he's also 7'3". So I'm kind of upset with Hornacek on this, and Kristaps. But Kristaps Porzingis, can you ever set a real pick? See, and that also has something to do with him being slim. He don't want to take the punishment of the guards running into his stomach. That shit hurts the player too sometimes. Because how many times have Kristaps taken a full pick and run down the middle of the lane for a pass? A regular pick and roll. All he does is come over there and slip. That's all he does. Slip, give me the ball. Slip, give me the ball. Slip, three-pointer. Pick and roll, slip is what I'm saying. And teams know what he's doing. Teams see this. Teams know what you're doing. They know that's what he's not going to set a real pick. He's going to just slip it. It works. It still works because it's an elite play. It's an elite play, so it's going to work a lot of times. But I kept screaming at the TV, give him a high pick and roll from the top of the three-point line. Space everybody the fuck out. Give Kristaps that whole inside to run down the lane and flush it, period. The problem with doing that, though, is that we don't have the point guard that can run downhill. And that's what Frank Ntilikina is going to have to start doing. That's why they should put him in simple pick and rolls and use his length and athleticism. I'm waiting for him to do that. Again, that's just my analysis on that. Oh, and another player the Knicks contemplated drafting and actually tried to make a draft day trade for him. Guess who? Donovan Mitchell, another guy that Phil Jackson had his eye on. It seems like everybody Phil Jackson had his eye on was really good. So I just wanted to say that real quick. The man knows talent. I realized what Phil should have been all along was just a consultant like Jerry West, not a president. But Dolan. But James Dolan, he wanted to make a big splash, But it's funny. I just want to say this real quick. People say, oh, we don't need a big name this and a big name that. I hear people say this all the time. As soon as when the Knicks signed Scott Perry, people were like, who is this guy? Who's this guy? I'm like, what? That's why I don't listen to people, man. They be saying shit out of both sides of their mouth, man. It's like they talk with a snake tongue, you know. You don't know which way they going. Oh, we need a veteran. We need somebody known. And this love affair that Knicks fans have with old Knicks. Oh, we need to bring Mark Jackson back. If Mark Jackson's such a great coach, how come he hasn't had one other interview after Golden State? Not one. Please stop asking for Mark Jackson. He hasn't had one interview. One. Nobody's inquiring about Mark Jackson. Doesn't mean he's a bad coach. Like I said before, he has some views that GMs and presidents want to stay away from. Because if you hire him, they're going to come out and it's a lot of anti-gay rhetoric. And you know what? That's what he chooses to do. And the thing is, he was coaching at Golden State. I had said this before, and they swept it under the rug. But in Golden State, he had a church. Him and his wife used to go to a certain church. I think in San Francisco, of all places. And, you know, in their church, you know, and a lot of pastors are anti-gay. And if they're reading that from their book, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. This is not what this is about. But I think that there was some grumblings. And that was a bigger thing than how he was coaching the team. That was the problem. You know what I'm saying? So, and that might be the problem why a coach who basically was the early architect of Golden State Warriors, think about that. The early architect of Golden State Warriors can't get hired. Can't even get an interview. It's something more than his coaching, folks. He's not going to coach again. Just face that. Unless people somehow, he has a moment, a come to Jesus moment. You know? So anyway, that's that. You know, so, you know, I mean, the Knicks, you know what? Michael Beasley was the Knicks' best player yesterday. Yo, I'm going to tell you this, man. I'm a person who knows about second chances, right? We all know about second chances. You know, we've all fucked up in relationships and friends and things like that. And some of us, when we do feel like we have a real second chance to do something, some of us really turn it around. And this is my hope for Michael Beasley. People are looking at Michael Beasley doing what he's doing and acting surprised like he wasn't the number 2 pick, like he wasn't killing them in Kansas State. He's not a bust because of skill, folks. He was a bust because he couldn't stop getting high and he didn't treat the game seriously. That's why he was a bust. But he's a man now. He's a grown-up now. You see what I'm saying? And he's starting, hey, I mean, I love the way he was moving the ball. I like the way he was passing the ball. You know, I like the way he was getting down. I mean, he's playing the game the right way. I hate to say that statement. I hate to say playing the game the right way, but that's what he's been doing. So, I mean, he was penetrating, making passes down low, and Beasley just needs sorry about that. Beasley just needs more time. I don't think he should be a starter, but maybe he can have an elite role. Maybe he can have maybe his career can turn into a little bit like what's his name? Jamal Crawford. Maybe his career could be more like Jamal Crawford. How about that? An elite scorer off the bench. You know? Maybe he can turn into that. This is just wishful thinking, but I know he has the skill to do it. Anyway, folks, this has been Knicks Home Court, episode number 86. I'll speak to y'all later. My name is Greg Armstrong, and I'll speak to y'all later. Let's get that win tonight. Peace.